One of the most useful Hermes commands is also one of the easiest to underestimate, /undo. At first it sounds like a tiny convenience, but in an agent workflow, undo is really about controlling context. If the last thing you said sent the agent in the wrong direction, you do not always want to patch over it. Sometimes you want to take that turn back, cleanly, and keep working from the moment before the mistake. Before we touch the live session, I want to ground this in the actual Hermes behavior. The official /command docs describe /undo as removing the last user and assistant exchange. The V0.16 release notes go a little further and say undo can take back the last n turns. And in the local source installed on this machine, the behavior is even more practical. Hermes backs up to a user turn, soft deletes the removed rows from the active transcript, and gives you the old prompt back so you can edit it instead of starting from scratch. That difference matters because agents are context machines. If I type, ignore that, the bad prompt and the bad answer are still part of the conversation. The model may still be influenced by the old framing, the wrong assumptions, or the style I accidentally asked for. With /undo, I am not arguing with the previous turn. I am rewinding the active conversation, then sending a better instruction from a cleaner place. Now let's use it in the real terminal. This is Hermes, running from WSL, using my normal Hermes profile. I am going to keep the example safe and simple, but the command is the same one I would use in a real working session when I notice that I phrased something badly. First, I'll verify the installed Hermes version. Then I'll launch the interactive CLI and work inside an actual session. For the first example, I intentionally ask for the wrong thing. I want an intro for this video, but I phrase the request in a way that pushes Hermes toward a stiff product announcement. This is a realistic mistake. The request is not broken technically. It will probably produce an answer, but it points the agent at the wrong style. And if I keep going from here, that style instruction can keep echoing through the session. Instead of continuing with make that less robotic, I use /undo. Notice the mental model. I am removing the exchange where I gave the wrong direction. Hermes reports what it backed up to, and in the interactive interface it gives that message back as editable input. That is a small detail, but it is very helpful, because most mistakes are not completely wrong. They just need a better framing. Now I clear the old input and send the version I actually wanted. Natural YouTube language, warm, direct, human, and specifically not a corporate launch announcement. The result is cleaner because the active context no longer includes the stale instruction telling Hermes to sound like a product announcement. This is the main workflow. Notice the drift, undo the turn, rewrite the instruction, and continue without dragging the mistake forward. There are a few places where this becomes especially useful. If you gave the agent the wrong goal, use undo. If you pasted the wrong requirement, use undo. If you accidentally push the session toward the wrong tone, file, framework, or architecture, use undo before the conversation gets built around that mistake. It is less dramatic than starting over, but cleaner than trying to negotiate with a bad context. The same idea works across more than one turn. If a conversation drifts for 2 or 3 messages, /undo with a number lets me back up multiple user turns at once. Here /undo2 means go back 2 user turns, remove that chunk from the active transcript, and let me continue from the earlier point. That is the part that makes it feel less like a chat trick and more like a real session control tool. There is one important boundary though. Undo is for fixing your instruction. If your prompt was good and the answer was just weak, retry is usually the better command. If the whole topic is finished and you want a completely fresh context, start a new session. And if the current answer is mostly right, a normal follow-up correction is fine. The value of undo is that it removes the wrong turn instead of explaining around it. One caveat is worth saying clearly. Undo cleans the conversation state. It does not magically reverse real-world side effects. If an agent changed files, ran a command, or touched an external service, you still need the normal safety tools for that world. Checkpoints, Git, rollback, backups, or manual review. /undo is about the active transcript and the next prompt the model will see. The habit I want viewers to build is simple. When you catch yourself typing a long explanation of why the previous instruction was wrong, pause for 1 second. Ask, should that previous turn remain in the active context? If the answer is no, undo it. If the answer is yes, a normal follow-up is fine. That tiny decision keeps long sessions much cleaner. Once you get used to it, /undo becomes one of those commands you reach for constantly. It lets you work more naturally, make a mistake, back up, rephrase, and keep going. For me, that is the real lesson. Good agent work is not about never making mistakes. It is about having precise controls for recovering from them without polluting the rest of the session.